Hello everyone, this is Shox, and today I'm going to show you how to win Security Tower as the Resistance. You have to blow up a door, crack a safe, steal a code, use the code to free Nashayev, and then bring him home in one piece. Now normally in single player you would have to open the panel here with an engineer, which is why I am stupidly staring at it and wondering why I can't do anything, and spin my objective wheel to see why I can't do anything, and spin it again to see why I can't do anything. Turns out I can't do anything in multiplayer at this point because it's already open and it needs to be planted by a soldier. Now if you're playing this map as a light body type on Resistance, you should try to spawn as a soldier and make a beeline for that panel, because you should be able to plant it before the security can shoot you dead, which is usually a big problem when planting charges. And as soon as the charge is set, you should be fine, because it's very hard to get to the charge if the attackers are on their game. So I'm sitting around here pretty useless, shooting teammates, because I'm an engineer, I can't do that much, and our soldiers are taking their sweet time. Now, what you want to do at this point, if you don't see anyone make a real effort to complete the objective, just go back to a command post, switch classes, do the objective. It's the only thing that counts, it's the only thing that's really scores well, and in the end it's all about winning the map. You're not gonna have a... You're not gonna outscore people just by shooting stuff, and there's no kill-death ratio, so you can't, you know, pad your stats or show people how big your EP is. So, yeah. I'm trying to get to the panel right now, and somebody finally had the same idea, so we planted. And for some reason, 3 seconds later, I am very much alone with the objective, which is odd, you know. There should be more people here, and in a second you will see 2 people jumping down to defuse the charge. And when you're a soldier, you can throw a grenade, throw a Molotov, and before people get up from the Molotov, the grenade will go off and they will all be dead. So that is something you may want to keep in mind if you're guarding the objective as a soldier. Now, once you've opened the door, you will need to crack a safe, and that requires engineers, which I am not at the moment. And since I didn't want to add to the whole shooting people for no good reason, I wanted to go and take a command post or do something else to benefit the objective. Because on a team damage server you need to keep in mind that staying with your teammates is great. However, as soon as people start, well, let's say, as soon as people start standing on each other's toes, you shoot each other just too much, you know, or you will shoot each other by being stupid, like me here in this scene, because I was still used to non-team damage servers, and I tried to shoot this turret through my teammate. Turns out we have a medic around, so that's not that big of a deal. So I'm just here keeping the enemy spawns down, because they spawn outside at the courtyard, and they need to get through here or either through the staircase behind me up to the place where they are currently cracking the safe, as you can see in the top right corner. And as long as that number's going up, they probably don't need anyone else sticking around there, so I'm trying to thin out the numbers of people trying to stop them. And I'm still a soldier, so I can keep myself going ammo-wise, and that's something that might be worthwhile. I'm personally not the run around kill stuff guy, which you will likely see in this scene, because, well, I don't run around and kill stuff. But I will do that if it plays to the objective, as in keeping people away from people actually doing their job. And so that was something I don't feel bad about as far as objective-based play goes. Now, this guy from my team is already running off with the passcode to free Neshayev. I spin my objective wheel to make sure that he's highlighted. And I make a pretty big mistake here, because the security spawn is in this courtyard, which I already mentioned. And so, even though I have to, or I want to, meet up with my team, when you go to that courtyard you always have to check if there's been a recent spawn, and whether you can pass safely or not. However, we freed Neshayev, so the map basically resets at this point. I believe all the turrets and mines will be removed, and both sides respawn at their new spawn point. You see, this is the spawn point where the security just came from. And I go through the command post and I see we have no engineer, which means somebody needs to be an engineer, because there will be ambushes along the way, and it's usually a good idea to have extra firepower through the engineer buff, but it's especially important when you're dealing with people who have set up positions, defensive positions, especially if they have time to wait, because people are right now sitting. If you watch a kill feed, there's not that much shooting going on, so people are right now charging up their supply bars and buffing each other, handing out Kevlar, handing out weapon buffs, health buffs, filling up ammunition, all that stuff, setting up turrets and mines, and everybody needs to be buffed to the maximum of what's possible, or what's smart. I mean, you don't want to wait forever just to make sure everybody's buffed, but you only have like a few attempts normally to get through choke points, and because it serves no purpose to trickle to a choke point, you have to make a move with the entire team to break through. Now here's like 4 people, and we win this because we are buffed, we were healed, and so we were like, I think in this area we were like 4 people, they were 4 people, and yeah, they might have had a chance, but in this case they didn't. So that's something you have to keep in mind. There is no, even if you can kill like 2 or 3 people, by the time your team when you're alone, that is, even if you do that, people will pick these people up, and by the time your team arrives, which is the most important part, by the time your team arrives, the damage you have done by killing people, or let's say a limited number of people, has been reduced to more or less 0. So your chances of breaking through a choke by yourself are absolutely 0, because there's no permanent damage done. So, and if you can't do that, you have to find a way to get an advantage, which is what I'm planning to do right now, is to get a command post that they're currently holding, because they're sitting on a lot of health, and we don't. And as soon as I, or someone else for that part, takes their command post, they lose 20 health and we gain 20 health. So it's a 40 health net advantage. And at higher levels where you can upgrade a command post as an engineer, it's a even greater advantage because you can buff it up to 40 hit points for the entire team. And that makes a great difference if you want to break through a choke. So I'm going there, but you have to keep in mind that they are alerted when somebody tries to take their command post. So what I do here is plant a mine, which is little bit too far in the room. You would normally want to place that more outside, and then start a cap, because it gives me an advantage when I'm being ambushed while trying to take the command post. You see here, that's exactly what happened. And that is great because it makes me look smart on YouTube. But the only reason I win this fight is because I had the turret and the landmine, and I had everything set up, and I had the extra health from the command post. So yeah. And by the way, I'm not that bad of a shot, but I'm still figuring out my settings at the moment, because I just got this game today. So now we have this command post, and people have already taken the opportunity to more or less clean out most of this choke point. The rest of the map is pretty straightforward. You try to keep Nashaev healed, try to push him through, and control the spawn axes, which the main spawn axes are this little hallway and the balcony that you saw at the beginning of the map when I came down, which is because the entire map just is one big back and forth. Because this is the door you actually blew up at the beginning. So thank you, good sir, for letting me knock you over, and again allow me to look at YouTube. And yeah, I think that covers about it. Just stay with the targets, stay with the objectives, and make sure that all your classes are represented on the team, or if not, switch. I've seen a bunch of teams trying to do this part with like 6 medics, and it never works because you either lack the weapon buffs or the ammunition. I think you could possibly do without an operative, but you should always have, even if you run like 3 or 4 medics, you should always have an engineer or 2 and probably 2 soldiers, or else you just run out of ammunition. And without the weapon buff, everybody who has Kevlar is very, very hard to take down. I'll probably be doing a lot of these videos on YouTube, sorry. I'll try to keep them informative, and if I manage to do a few short videos about certain stuff, I will, and otherwise I'll likely just make map walkthroughs. And if you like it, please comment, rate, subscribe, you know the drill. And yeah, I will end this with shooting people play experience because we have one anyway. So, thank you for watching. This is Shox signing off. Take care.